Andaran Etishan, everybody. Welcome to Thetis. Yay!
Woo!
Welcome to our new Flights of Fandom show on Manapod Studios. This month we are doing Dragon Age Rebellion, an original story set during the Orlesian occupation of Ferelden. I will be your GM for this flight. My name is Liza. Hello. I use she, her pronouns, and you can find me normally on Wednesday nights here on Manapod Studios running happy hour, but not this month because that would be 3 games a week, and but then I'm running, and that would just be too much. Yeah, I'm very excited to be running this game for all of these lovely folks who I would love to have introduce themselves to you. Starting up in the top corner with Marcy.
Hey everyone, it's me, still Marcy, still also going by Experimental Madness if you've been watching any Flights of Fandom for the last, several months now. Here I am. Very, 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 very excited to be doing a Dragon Age flight because I am a bonkers Dragon Age nerd. You can find me most places around the internet. You know the drill, under Experimental Madness, and I am Twitter's resident cryptid under Marciful. And tonight I have the very great pleasure to be playing Eva Morin. I'm excited for you to get to know her.
I meant to say there's one other trivia question in the introductions as well.
Oh no.
Which is your favorite Dragon Age game?
Oh, okay, that's a much better question to answer.
They're gonna get harder as the flight goes on.
Oh, like an actual trivia. Oh, okay.
No. Oh no, sorry. It's a personal trivia.
That would be, and I might get flack for this, and I don't care because if you don't like this, you're wrong. It's Dragon Age 2.
That's my answer as well. Let's find out what Caitlin's answers are.
So I will answer at the end of my little intro. But hello, my name is Caitlin Starling. I am an author when I'm not here with these lovely folk of books like The Luminous Dead and other spooky tales. And you can find me on Twitter at CSEE_Starling. And if I had to pick a tiny part of me really wants to just go Awakening, it's Awakening, deal with it. But I think Origins probably on the whole in terms of full gameness. Yeah, I think Origins still has my heart.
Amazing. And let's check in with Hopper.
Ha ha! 'Tis I, your resident dumpster fire. Though I guess it's your resident burning awful heap. I don't know what we do pre-dumpster. Don't worry about it. Don't think too hard. It's me. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Hopper. I use they them pronouns, and I am occasionally spotted in or around the wilds of the interwebs at under the handle Fail Deadly. That is Fail Deadly with a 3 instead of an E because I'm a bad person. And I can also be found at the Legend Tree, where I occasionally do some stuff. I do some pro DMing on the side because I hate free time. And I will also have to actually say Origins as well, just because it's so near and dear to my heart. And as a whole, I was very pleased with the game experience, and I like the crunchiness. It's not a commentary on story that I would have a nervous breakdown on stream trying to decide based on more narrower aspects. But yeah, so Origins as well.
Fair enough. And last but certainly not least, Wesley.
Hi everyone, I'm Wesley. Any pronoun will do. You can find me around the web as Horniest Lobster, mostly on Twitter. I also use other social media, but only technically. Favorite Dragon Age game has to be Origin for pretty much the same reason Hopper said. I'm a big fan of like those old school pause, set tactics so everyone unpause for 6 seconds. Oh crap, pause, rearrange. Mage needs to go over here now. Oh crap, there's an ogre. I like that. So Origins is for me for sure.
Well, the original working title that I had for this series was Dragon Age Before Origins. So
Oh, why did we not do that? That's
Every time it's like another punch to the face here.
Because it's very tonally inappropriate.
uh,
But instead it is Dragon Age Rebellion, and that is because the year is 867 Blessed. The place is Ferelden. For the last 43 years, Ferelden has been occupied by various forces of the Empire of Orlais, located just across the Frostback Mountains. A much more powerful country. Orlais swept into Ferelden, and though the king and the loyal bands continue to fight, the country is slowly losing hope. The south remains one of the last bastions of Ferelden freemen, not cowed by the invading Orlesians. Indeed, the rebel army is currently wintering in Redcliffe, one of the last bastions. But that is not where we find ourselves. Instead, we find ourselves in a cool mountain pass. There is still snow on the ground, and the air is crisp, but there is a slight warmth to it, a wetness in the wind that indicates the oncoming spring. And that wind has melted some of the snow here in Sulcher's Pass, an important bridge between Orlais and Ferelden. And at one end of Sulcher's Pass is the small town of Hanleith. Some of you may be familiar with it later in time, but for now, I get to be in control. I feel like I should stop briefly for a moment from my dramatic introduction to say that I'm working as much as possible with existing Dragon Age lore, but there are some inconsistencies in it, and I am taking a few liberties to make a good game, as it appears BioWare has done before me.
There's inconsistencies you could fly an archdemon through.
It's true. I was going to say, it is getting on tonight, and the heavy rain clouds obscure the 2 moons of Thetis' sky.
Never forget.
Never forget. As we zoom through the town, it is a small town, the wooden buildings closely built and patched with tar to keep out the torrential rains and snows of this part of town. We see people walking bundled up against the cold and the wet, and many of them going into the lively-looking lit windows of a tavern, which the brightly painted sign swinging over the door proclaims to be the Tipsy Tusket. As we head inside, the mood is significantly warmer. Hanleith is a small town, but an important trading stop in many days. It is still early in the season, and despite its strategic importance, it is a little less under the thumb of the Orlesians than the nearby town of Edgehall, which is sort of one of their main bastions in the region. And for those of you into your lore, also the last Orlesian bastion to fall in the rebellion. Later on, many years from now.
Spoilers.
But yes, within the Tipsy Tusket, we see a number of people behind the bar. There is a human woman with curly blonde hair tucked up in a big kerchief, slinging drinks. There are a couple of dwarven merchants gathered around a table in the corner. There is a Mabari, a massive warhound with a grizzled white snout. Its head perched on its paws as it snores in front of the roaring fire. And at a table in the corner, we see 3 figures. seated together a little ways into the shadow. Unremarkable at first glance, but as we look closer, we see 3 of our heroes. Would any of you like to describe yourselves?
I guess I'm going first. I love that, like, oh boy. Eva Morin, she is, you see, a young woman, easily in her early 20s. She's currently wearing a fur-lined cloak and hood. She seems rather cold at the moment. She's hovering over a very hot alcoholic drink with both hands in a rather big mug. She's still got her gloves on. She's got underneath that hood big billowing reddish brown, rather rusty looking curls that are coming up. A rather serious expression on one so young. She seems to be thinking about next moves, what's brought her here. Very stoic looking woman. Very, like, not bad looking at all. Nothing extraordinary either. Rather nondescript. Perfect for blending into places unseen. Rather roguish type, I might think. She's currently blowing the steam off of a mug, taking a sip, letting it warm her rather chilled insides.
Absolutely. And who else do we see at the table with Eva?
Well, the first thing you fucking notice when you walk in is you see a 6'3" tall woman wearing nothing but leather armor and with a big fuck off axe. And she's sitting there across the table from Eva, dominating the space just by her sheer presence. She's got black hair that's braided down the back. And notably, if you catch a glimpse on the left side of her face, there's a massive scar that runs from the left ear, which is mostly missing, down her face and into her throat. And she's got this axe and she's dragging a whetstone across it with a rather loud and discomforting screeching sound, and doesn't seem to be especially concerned with the lack of propriety in that behavior.
Yeah, definitely you receive a few glances, particularly from the party of dwarven merchants and from another party that I will describe momentarily. But the people who look like regulars here don't seem too discomfited to see an Avar. Given the location of this town in the Frostbacks, it's uncommon, but not the first time that this has happened.
Notably, her armor isn't of Avar make; it is of the lowland production. But and she's wearing she's got a cloak thrown over the back of the chair, but is otherwise, you can see, she's real fucking jacked. And I think you kind of see, in general, you see her, you realize that even though she's looking nonchalant, she is perpetually keeping an eyeball on the door. Kind of very casual pose, a feigned casuality to all of that.
Absolutely. And who's the last figure that we see at this table?
The last figure you see is a tall, although a little shorter than Fiak, Ferelden man. Quite, not, while large, by no means athletic, definitely a bigger person, but you can tell underneath he's still got quite a bit of muscle on him. A big bear of a man, clean shaven. You can see the age and like wear on his face. Even though he's only in his mid-30s, he probably looks a little older. He's wearing simple yet sturdy leather armor that looks like you could pick it up almost anywhere from like a good leather worker in like a big city somewhere. And he is just sitting down, 2 drinks in hand, and just is slowly sipping on one of them, as he keeps the other one ready to go for as soon as he's done with this one. And you see just under the table, just beneath his feet, you'll see his spear and his shield, always by his side.
Absolutely. I would like the three of you, if you would be so kind, to make me perception seeing tests. For our audience, if you are interested, this game is the Dragon Age tabletop role-playing game, and it functions as with 3d6, unlike many tabletop games. Yeah, it's a really cool system. We hope to demonstrate it for you.
So that's a 13.
Okay.
It's a flat 10.
Okay.
9.
All right. So all three of you notice a figure sort of come out from one of the tables and go over to talk to one of the dwarven merchants. But Eva, with your sort of keener eye for hidden things, there's just something about the way in which this woman carries herself. She's not wearing any signs or symbols, but maybe it's even just the places she's looking. You can tell that this woman is a Templar. And you can also see that her hands are shaking. As she goes to lean down to talk quietly with these dwarven merchants. And all three of you can see that she got up from a table where there are 3 other figures sitting. 2 of them appear to be human. They look to all 3 of you mostly like mercenaries, but or perhaps guards of some sort. Hard to say. The 3rd figure is the one that catches your attention. Caitlin, could you describe your character for us?
So the third person is a elf woman, probably around 30 years old. Her skin is paler than you would expect given the rest of her skin tone and her coloration. Like, she hasn't seen a lot of sun. And she has her hair in thick black bangs, and the rest of it is swept up into 2 little horn buns on top of her head. She is dressed seemingly uncomfortably in a very normal traveling costume for any given woman. She seems to be shifting as if she's used to having a heavier weight on her shoulders, not like armor, but like heavy fabric. And there is a walking stick leaning up on the wall, not right behind her, in fact, behind one of the people who is sitting next to her. And she's not drinking alcohol either. She is drinking, not out of a stein at least. It seems to be just a little ceramic cup, maybe, of tea.
A walking stick.
It's a bow.
It's a bow.
You would not separate an old man from his
Yeah,
body.
yes, exactly.
Would you?
She looks a little bit uncomfortable and nervous, but not necessarily because of who she's sitting with. She just seems to have a general air of fidgetiness.
Yeah, and Erlana, as you watch, speaking of fidgety, you watch as ceasing her sort of endless fidgeting, you watch Sir Solen stand up and walk over to the dwarven merchants. Would you make for me either, I guess it would be a perception test, empathy if you've got it.
That is a 14.
Yeah, so you've been noticing over the last couple of days, you're pretty sure that whatever supply of lyrium Sir Solen brought with her, she's already gone through most of it. And you get the feeling that she is trying to hit up these dwarves for more.
It makes me uncomfortable. I'm a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, you know she had a bit of a reputation back in the circle for not necessarily being the most reliable. which is one of the many reasons why her taking you out of the circle in the middle of the night was a little bit concerning. And now you're here in this town in the middle of nowhere, and there are absolutely no books anywhere.
Nope, wasn't allowed to bring any. Possibility of water damage or them falling into the wrong hands. I did ask.
The two other guards who are there, one of them, kind of also looking a little annoyed, stands up and makes to go outside, yeah, begins wandering off. What are the four of you doing at this moment in time?
How obvious was it that this is a Templar?
You did not notice, but Eva did.
Cool. Thank you.
I was about to ask, do we all see that it's an obvious mage at this other table? Or was that, again, just something that I saw?
Let me double check on my test results table. I think it was just you. You're the only one who rolled above an 11. Oh no, Hopper, you rolled an 11 as well.
No, I got a 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it would have been an 11 to notice that.
Well, don't look now, but we've got ourselves some rather interesting company. And I gesture, like, over my shoulder to Ilana and the group there. I have quite a bit of questions about why a mage would be here of all places.
She's going to set down the axe and very gently and casually, as casual as a titan of a 6'3" woman with a big fuck off two-handed great axe can, and pick up the spear that's leaning against the wall, and in doing so scoop out the people that Eva has just pointed out here.
Yeah, so you notice the guard walking away from the table, and you see the elven woman, and as Eva points it out, you can see again the walking stick, and you're like, oh, and you kind of look at the woman talking to the dwarves, and you can see the calluses on her hands, and the way that her hands are shaking. You're, I think, well, no, actually, I was gonna say you would recognize a Templar if you saw one. She's not wearing the armor with the crest on it, but she is armed and armored.
I think, Eva, we've worked together for a bit at this point, and she sees you getting up, and, like, she just raises, like, just a very casual hand. It doesn't look very strict at all, but her voice is very calm but rocky. Just remember where we are, Fiach. Let's not try to draw too much attention to ourselves, shall we?
You see she grits her teeth and very with equal casualness just tightens her paw around this spear and sits back down and stares straight ahead and just gives one nod before beginning to sharpen the blade on the spear that is already fucking pristine.
Joy will like a friendly, slap on the back. Hopefully, you don't give you a reason to have to use that. Don't give them a reason to give you a reason to use that. How's that sound?
I like it the first way. There's nothing to say that we can't have a friendly little meeting outside of town.
Well, if it interferes with our current goals, I'd rather we didn't.
The only good Templar is a dead Templar.
Joy nods.
We are not here to interfere in such politics. We have quite enough on our hands as it is, but whatever it will be with you, won't it?
It will be as the Lady of the Skies, the Mountain Father will it. My will has nothing to do with it.
She does give like a little scoff as she hears you say that and takes a sip from her most likely hot toddy.
Yeah, your drinks are empty, so you see the blonde bartender kind of come over. She's picking up some empty cups. You see her bend down and just kind of scratch the Mobari as she makes her way over to your table. Anything else I can get you?
How long have we been in town?
I would say probably more than a week and less than a month.
Eva would have definitely made it a point to sort of ingratiate herself with the townsfolk and become somebody that's seen as, you know,
Sure, if you
reliable
want to,
and trustworthy.
if you want to make me
Mm-hmm.
a perception empathy test, I will tell you what you know about this woman.
Yes, because I'm going to ask her some fun things. Nice. Okay. 14.
Yes, this woman's name is Amin, and she, is betrothed, is going to be married, and she moved here from Edge Hall to get married. The wedding is kind of what people are all talking about. She's getting married to this guy named Stanton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah. That's the
Okay.
plan. And,
All right.
And a lot of people, want to talk to her because she has some stories about what life is like in Edge Hall under the Orlesians. And it's a lot worse than it is here. You get the feeling that she would be friendly to your cause.
Great. So I might have hinted at a few things about what I, at the very least, am actually doing with this rather weird crew. I think, you know what? In my excitement about that, I just forgot her name.
Amin.
I mean, great. Oh boy. Eva would just sort of lean in, going, do you know about these travelers behind me? How long have they been here?
They just arrived earlier today, but I heard them speaking Orlesian.
Really?
Yeah. Got the feeling they were waiting for somebody. Not that I speak a lot of Orlesian, mind, but I picked up a few things.
Well, thank you for that. I'll have another round.
I get
Certainly.
the feeling there's something wrong with that. I think she's one in charge anyway. She kind of motions with an elbow over towards the woman who's talking to the dwarves.
I don't know
Seems
if
a
I'd
little
recognize.
jumpy. She's pointing at the Templar.
Right. I don't think I'd recognize delirium sickness.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Well, paranoia gets the best of us nowadays, I think.
Most lowlanders can't handle the cold, or the frostbacks either.
I don't know what you're talking about. And she pulls up her coat tighter around her. Keep an eye on them.
You get a very slow wink from Fioc's good eye.
You get nothing from Eva's face. It's just completely impassive.
Yeah, Amin walks back to the bar, gets you your drinks. You guys watch the other guard from the Orlesian table kind of walk out, and as he opens the door, just this gust of wind catches it. You can hear a roar of thunder in the background, and just rain comes sideways in through the door as he goes out, looking a little miserable. But yeah.
Yeah, the mage, she flinches a little bit at the sound. Like, just very loud, very unexpected.
Yeah, and you guys, watch for another minute or two when the door opens again. I need some different music here.
Oh no.
Let's see. The door opens again. The wind catches it and slams the door into the side of the building as you see a man step in. He is dripping wet. Just running down. His purple tunic is sodden. It looks from the mud on him that maybe he fell off a horse or something. And the look on his face is even darker than the weather. As he comes striding in, looking around, and you just hear him say, "I need a hot drink right now," and walks forward across the bar in front of the fireplace, looks down at the Mabari and says, "And someone move this disgusting animal."
Death!
Fiok stops sharpening the spear and just freezes. And you
Yeah.
see every muscle in her body tense.
Yeah, I think you see a flash of something metal as Eva twirls a dagger before sheathing it under her tunic.
Or turns around mid like chug.
Yeah, you see Amin kind of freeze, this look of fear crossing over her face. Aelana, you see Sir Solen kind of jerk back from what she's doing, like you see her grab something off the table from her conversation with the dwarves, stuffing it into a pocket, and turning sort of unconsciously, her heels click together and she stands up a little straighter. Whoever this person is, it's pretty evident to you that she recognizes him. You know from your earlier conversations with Sir Solen and the guards that they're waiting for somebody. That's why they came here. It seems pretty evident to you that this is who they were waiting for. You don't necessarily know his name. But yeah.
Sit up a little bit straighter, very, very good attentive student style, which clashes with her apparent age because she should probably be a little bit more confident in herself and more independent, but she's not.
Ilana, you can also make me a cunning, cultural lore, or heraldry roll.
That's a fucking check.
You said it was cunning?
Mm-hmm.
17.
Woo!
You also know, coming from Orlais, that this man, the tunic he's wearing marks him as being a chevalier. And if you got a closer look at any heraldry he is wearing, you would probably be able to identify him just from, reading the records of such
The
things.
who's who.
Yes, exactly. The many, the rules of the game, as 'twere. But yeah, he you see Amin kind of slowly step forward to ask him for a drink, and you hear him again kind of insisting that the Mabari move so that he can dry himself by the fireplace. And you just see the hound kind of put its face back down on its paws. Are you guys doing anything at this particular moment, or are you just watching?
I see a potential here for some untapped information here at the back end of Ferelden, as we have been waiting for some new orders ourselves, but what Eva specializes is in gathering more information, and a chevalier out here, that's pretty interesting. You see her undo the laces of her cloak and hood. She pulls it back, lets the reddish curls go, and she does a very quick change where she reverses it, and suddenly it's got this lovely blue sheen on the other side of the cloak, and she flips the fur lining over so it's smoother, and essentially she's gonna have a conversation here.
Okay.
She wants to head on over to the Chevalier, and let's pretend, just for example, that Marcy can do a spectacular French accent, which she cannot do and will not try.
Oh, come on.
No.
Oh, come on. It will be fun.
I cannot do it.
It is simply you do the
That is about
say
it.
the thing.
That's not bad.
This is the limit of my
Wow,
French.
that's very German.
Yeah, thank you. And it always turns into German.
You
So
just
we're
thought
going
Like you're from
Neanderthals,
the
that would be something.
Anderfels.
Thank you. We said the same thing at the same time. That was brilliant. And in Orlesian, is going to go over to the Chevalier and just say, I'm just going to keep doing my other accent because, you know, I'm fuck French right now. I can't do it. It is quite rare to see Chevalier out here. May I sit?
He's not sitting. He's still sort of like standing in
Oh, he's
front
standing
of the
by the
fire.
fire.
And
pulling a dog.
you see Amin kind of run over with a goblet full of wine. It splashes a little bit on the tray as her hands shake as she hands it over. And you see her look at you, Eva, with just wide eyes, like, what are you doing?
I'm just giving her a very calm facial expression as I then like turn my steely gaze onto this guy.
He raises one eyebrow and looks at you and says, and you can see he's wearing a mask, as you might imagine. I don't know that you instantly recognize it. Oh, and also, sorry, let me cut back briefly for one moment because I forgot this particular detail. But Aelon, with your role, you would have seen that it's a fairly nondescript mask, not really matching his station. You would guess that it's something he is wearing probably to purposely obfuscate his identity, unlike normal Orlesian mask wearing. But he looks at you, and you can tell that under the mask he's raising an eyebrow at you.
Yeah, my face just still has the curious, friendly, but not much else.
And who might you be, madame?
You may refer to me as Eva Morin. I've been traveling myself, and back here it is nothing like civilization, I'll tell you that.
Certainly not. They let mongrels take the pride of place by the fire, while a chevalier can get no service? I refuse to stand for it, particularly not in the presence of a lady. And you see him kind of motion for you to stand aside, and he's going to reach down and grab the Mabari by the skin of the neck and try to move it.
Oh, please. May I? I've had to be holed up here for quite some time, and, well, we mustn't begrudge the Peraltans here their little pleasures.
I would
she...
like you to make... I'm gonna give you your choice here. It's definitely gonna be a communication test, but I would say it could be deception or etiquette.
I'll take deception.
Deception's gonna be a little harder.
I'll take deception. That gives me, if I have it, I get a bonus to
Yes, you get +2 in addition to your attribute.
I'll take the deception. Oh yeah, yes, I will. 21.
Damn! All right.
Rogue.
Yeah, he kind of looks at you, says, "Your soft heart does you credit, but these mongrel dogs will not learn anything if we cater to their barbarian whims."
And I just sort of lean in. Well, back here, there's not much taming any beasts, I'd say. You're the first real gentleman that I think I've seen in quite some time.
Then perhaps you just need a real gentleman to remind you how the taming of beasts is done.
No, I've introduced myself, but I still don't know who you are. You have me at rather a disadvantage, I'd say.
That is perhaps true, madame, but the name Morin does not strike me as being particularly Orlesian.
Perceptive. It is not. But my good family had the sensibilities to send me elsewhere for proper education. You see that I haven't forgotten it.
And where precisely did they send you?
Well, to Valria, of course. Spent most of my childhood there. I would say that I consider myself more Elysian than Ferelden, and I'd rather thank the Maker for it.
Blessed be his name. Very well, show me how you tame these Ferelden dogs, Madame Morin.
She's gonna sort of get down, and she's got a little pack under some of her skirts and pulls out a little bit of jerky. And is just gonna give a shrill little whistle, wake this old little puppy up, and toss the jerky further away from the fireplace.
All right, make me a communication animal handling check.
Don't have that, but we'll see what happens. Well, that could have been better. 10.
The Mabari kind of looks at you.
Do me a solid.
And
seen
the
the
look on
writer.
his face is very much conveying, like, why should I have to do this?
just he was like, come on, bro.
Don't wanna.
Yes.
But I think you see it kind of. Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's going to look up at the Chevalier and just growl low in
boy.
her throat, and kind of walk over, get the jerky, and walk back and lay
Yep.
back down in the
Yep.
exact same spot.
Stubborn dog. Normally that little trick works. To the dog. Just like, I see you.
What are the other three of you doing at this moment?
Fiok is literally he's radiating the emotion of, if you remember in Hot Fuzz when Nick Frost is like same while that is the energy as Fiok is just like kind of like has leaned the spear back up against the wall and just kind of picked up the battle axe very nonchalantly and it's just kind of raises one eyebrow at Joy.
Yeah, Joy is also has like his spear at this point now resting on his foot, so he can quickly lift it if needed. Just because he doesn't like this guy, but he's like his gaze is going back and forth between persons whose name I just forgot, and the group of at least the one Templar, maybe more. It's kind of like not able to decide who he wants to devote his full attention
Yeah,
to.
you actually notice the person that Eva pointed out as being a Templar, has finished doing whatever she was doing, and you see her kind of tentatively stepping forward, to perhaps try and like get this Chevalier's attention. What's Aelana doing?
She sees it's Sir Selene, right?
Mhm.
When Sir Selene takes a step away, she's kind of like a little aborted to come back. She doesn't say anything, but she very clearly is feeling quite uncomfortable with how things are settling out, if only because she doesn't seem to quite be tracking what's going on. She has clearly recognized this guy as a Chevalier, and she's clearly Orlesian, but she also is having there's this weird almost distance between her and the very normal, in some ways, interactions going on. She's sort of looking between her other two. Has the other guy returned to the table?
Yet.
So she's just looking at the one person left next to her and like is trying very, very hard to be proper and is not drinking her tea and is trying not to panic because this is not how she expected her night to be going.
Yeah, the other guard is looks very relaxed, is taking a big swig and is watching this. If he had a bowl of popcorn, he would be eating it. But you get the sense that he is waiting for the Chevalier to put these Feraldens in their place. Excuse me.
How dare you drink?
How dare I drink my drink? I think with that, the Chevalier is going to say, very well, if the carrot will not work. And you see him reaching for his sword.
Hi. Hello there. I'm Fiok. I have rage issues, a big fucking axe, and a deep love for the hands. She says none of that. All of that is conveyed as Fiok stands up to her full height, which is real fucking tall, and just casually, just kind of spins a double-headed great axe in one hand, before looming behind Eva.
Give me one moment.
Ooh, you can have as many moments as you want.
I have to look at my stat block here.
Oh dear.
Oh, just so I know what to add to this roll. Hold on one second.
You made a character that both Hopper and Fiok are built to hate.
You see him draw the blade about 3 inches out of the scabbard, not all the way out, and just lean down towards the hound, the same way that Eva did, and just say, "Move, mongrel," and he's going to attempt to intimidate the dog. Yeah, that's probably gonna do it. That's an 18.
Oh dearsy.
And you see the Mabari kind of growl a little bit and look at you, and look over at oh my god, I totally blanked on the name that I said earlier for the bartender.
You forgot Cullen's grandmother, I'm assuming?
I didn't say that.
Emin.
I mean, that's right, thank you.
Emin.
You didn't say that in so many words.
Yeah, it looks over at Amin, who looks terrified and kind of harumps at the Chevalier and starts patting over. You can see the Mabari's hips look a little weak, as she's walking over, and just butts her head against Amin's leg, and you see Amin kind of reach down with a trembling hand and sort of scratch the Mabari on the top of the head. And with a flourish, the Chevalier pulls his sword the rest of the way out of the scabbard and says, "You see, Madame Morin, dogs only understand one thing. I'll have another drink," he says, and just tosses the mug over in the direction of Amin.
Such a shame. Not all paths have to lead to such violence, I think, but so it was chosen, it appears.
As he waits for his second drink, he kind of says, "I would be delighted to speak more with you later, but I would prefer to present myself in a drier form more befitting a gentleman, if you would excuse me."
Of course. And then might I get your name?
"Perhaps." And he winks at you. He has a skill in seduction.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
According to this stat block. So he steps up in front
two
of the
can play
fire.
at this game, I guess.
He steps up in front of the fire, turns his back to all of you, and just sort of puts the sword back into the sheath and starts warming his hands by the fire.
I go back down to my seat.
Fiak, what are you doing?
Looming quite a bit, in fact. I think Fiak has spent enough time working with these fine upstanding folk, even if they are lowlanders. They're the best of them, at the very least, and she's going to not simply begin a bloodbath. She desperately wants to.
Of which you see, like, Eva kind of... I feel like there was an exchange look of, like, don't you even think about it? Don't.
She just very casually strides across the bar up and leans up against the actual across the tavern and leans up against the physical bar, and near where this Mabari has plooped down, and very, 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 very casually. I've said casual like 800 times tonight.
Just walk casual.
Just walk, yeah. Puts this big fuck off axe like leaning against the bar right next to her, and is just not mad dogging the Orlesian guy, but not mad dogging the Orlesian guy.
Yeah, you kind of are leaning against the bar, eyeing the Chevalier. And you see the woman that you had marked as a Templar earlier kind of walks up to him as he's standing by the fire, and kind of they're having a very hushed conversation. Which I will address in a moment. But as you look down, Fiach, you can see the Mabari is sitting directly next to you, also just looking intently at the Orlesian.
Without dropping her eyes from the Orlesian, she reaches into a belt pouch and pulls out a little Mabari crunch and just side palms it.
Yeah, the Mabari just leans over, licks it out of your hand again, without moving her eyes from the Chevalier.
It's the little things.
Yeah, Joy and Eva, you can see that this woman has walked over to the Chevalier, and you see her kind of like whispering to him intently, and you see him just sort of nod and hold up a couple of fingers like, yeah, later. And she seems very intent. If you want to observe any more than that, I will need a perception test, either seeing or hearing.
I was gonna ask if there's any way that I could. Seeing, I guess, would be for trying to read lips,
or just observing their mannerisms.
Right,
I would also
I'm
accept
assuming
empathy to try and get a read on their emotions. Any of those three things I would accept.
Okay. Ooh, nice. 19. That's for seeing. I'm gonna go with that. She was trying to read lips.
Wesley, is Joy attempting to get a closer look, or are you leaving that to Eva?
Yeah, he'll go as well. 14, I guess. Also seeing.
Okay.
Is just watching.
I think you can both see that the Templar woman looks nervous, and the Chevalier is mostly annoyed, but also like trying to be like, hey, be cool. Hey, be cool. Eva, you are intently watching, and I think that you do catch two things. You catch as she walks up to him, she makes this like weird gesture, whereas she walks up to him, she grabs her bicep. And he just sort of nods. You recognize it as a greeting or a salute of some sort, but you don't know what it means, or like you recognize the attitude that they have to it, but not it as
I don't know what it means.
No.
Yeah.
Has Aelana ever seen that kind of exchange before?
You can also make a you can make me first a perception test. Again, seeing, hearing, or empathy.
Okay. So Aelana's going to tear her eyes away from the largest woman she's ever seen, and keep looking at the Templar who she probably shouldn't have ever looked away from.
Could Joy make a military lore check to see if he recognizes that, or would that not
This
apply?
would be historical or cultural lore.
Okay.
And
But
the
thank you for
perception
asking.
for Aelana.
What was the result, Caitlin?
10.
10. Okay. I don't know that you notice her do this.
too busy being distracted by the large woman.
Yeah, she's very large.
It's understandable.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, just so you guys are aware, there is a test difficulty, and that was a challenging test, which the target number was 13.
Oh boy.
So just so you know how I'm judging these things. But yeah, if anyone who saw it, you could, I guess, Eva, make either a historical or cultural lore check. Those are cunning.
Sure, I'll give it a shot. What is that under? Cunning?
Cunning, yes.
Okay, not a terrible roll. 14.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
That was a hard test, which is a 15. I know.
Dang.
It's okay. It's an obscure piece of lore.
Yeah.
But real.
Now I'm wondering if I know this.
Probably not. I'd be impressed. We'll find out. So, you also notice, I think, with your earlier rolls, the name that she calls him, which is
All of us would know this.
you and Joy would know this.
Gotcha.
Lord Delaunay. Delaunay, yes.
No last.
There's to say dead man.
You get the sense that that is his.
It is the last name, so no first name. Yeah.
Yeah, she wouldn't use his first name, you don't think. Definitely it's a sort of a deferential relationship. You get the sense they've met before, sort of thing. And they're both not doing a very good job being a little furtive.
Amateur hour.
Yeah, so what else are you guys getting up to? The other guard comes back in.
Do
By the way.
do we know whether they're staying here or not?
You could find out.
I think Fioc's gonna turn to Amin, just kind of lean over the bar and drop probably the wrong amount of coinage for another mug of ale, but she's still a little bit shaky on lowlander currency and your weird capitalism with coinage and all that. It's quite inaccurate and strange. And she leans in and just goes, I don't suppose that they happen to be staying here.
The other All Legions checked in. I didn't know that man would be coming.
Has he hasn't made arrangements for a room then, just the others.
Well, he only just arrived. But I've seen him before.
Is that so?
At the Edge Hall. He came there once or twice. He had a bit of a reputation.
A reputation for what now?
Unpleasantness.
Of the kind that the gods frown upon, or the kinds that men frown upon?
Well, I certainly hope the Maker would frown upon it. Particularly when it comes to harassing poor Mabari. And she just leans down and just buries her face in the scruff of the Mabari, kind of like... you can tell she's, like, no test required. You can tell she's very afraid.
Yeah, it's like bad.
Joy, before making his way to this part of Ferelden, spent some time in Edge Hall. Could I make a check to see if Joy recognizes this person?
Yes.
Like now that he has the name?
Absolutely. Go ahead. You can just make me a cunning check. I will actually let you use military lore on this one for recognizing this guy because he is a chevalier.
Sure. Ooh, nice. 15 triple five, something that matters to this. 16, and then it's +2 for having a focus.
Correct.
So 15, 16, 18.
Oh yeah. Kind of after you and Eva are talking a little bit more, you definitely realize you have seen this guy before. Without the normal mask, it's kind of hard to tell. Like you don't know what his face actually looks
Sure.
like.
Right.
His name is Armand Delaunay. He is a minor lord. He's a chevalier. He's a military man. Um, and yeah, you also, I think, being from Edge Hall, have heard his reputation of being pretty brutal in a lot of respects. You heard that he kind of fell out of favor, although you're not sure why. The A lot of people fell out of favor with the Mad Emperor. Um, and this was a while ago. So this man is probably in his late 40s or early 50s. This was like when you were a kid that you heard about this guy.
Sure.
Do you relate any of this to Eva as I sit back down?
Um, yeah, he'll like, finish his sip, and then it like once like it all kind of clicks in his head, he'll relay. I've actually heard of him back before I came this way. Minor Lord, name's Armand. I think not the nicest gentleman I've ever met him, or not that I've ever heard of. Had a bit of a falling out, but that was years ago. Not sure where he stands now.
Interesting.
The one other thing you would know, Joy, is that despite his falling out of favor with most of the players of the game, he and the Lord of Edgehall remain staunch allies. You would guess that's probably where they're heading. And you know that Edgehall is a much, much more difficult place to infiltrate. The rebellion has like 1 or 2 people inside of Edgehall. So if that's where they're going and they manage to get there, any information they would have would be lost to you until they leave again.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, he'll relay that as well. Last I heard, he was still pretty tight knit with the Lord of Edgehall. I think it might be a safe bet that he might be heading there.
And we don't have many contacts there. Fascinating. A man with very little back home, but much to gain from here. Those that have lost their way are especially dangerous. Keep
He
an eye on
smirks.
him.
He smirks and nods and takes another sip while keeping one eye on Armand.
Aolana, would you go ahead and make me a perception empathy test?
Who am I looking at?
I'll tell you based on what you roll.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, it's not great. It's an 8.
Okay. I think what you notice then is that pretty much everyone in the bar is not so subtly paying real close attention to this chevalier. Everyone, including the really tall buff lady. But yeah, mostly everyone. But what that means is that not a lot of people are paying attention to you.
That makes me a little bit more comfortable. But I'm not trying to get out of my seat or anything. I'm
And
watching and waiting.
So sorry about that. You said that it's been particularly difficult for the rebellion to get like a foothold in Edgehall.
That's correct. It's a pretty heavily controlled Orlesian spot. Like maybe there's like 1 or 2 reliable sources, but it's like, it's doing they can't do a lot other than occasionally pass information because they would probably get caught.
Might be worth continuing to get into his good graces. Maybe I could get an invitation.
Fun idea, if nothing else. I support this.
We'll see. He seems. Oh, I like look over at him, pompous enough, a little bit of flattery, violence towards the right people. Maybe.
It'll usually work. They're all the same. You know how they are.
No one is ever just the same, Joy.
I'm at the Chevalier. The nobles.
Everyone walks their own path, but it has to be their own. The Chevalier is no different. She leans back as she takes another sip of her rapidly cooling drink. And I think she looks a little bit behind her shoulder, feeling like some sort of eyes. And I think, Ilana, you see very briefly the slate grayish blue eyes peek over at you before she turns her head around again.
All right.
Fioc's trying to make eye contact with one of the other two because she has a strong hankering to do some justice.
Well, one door opens, another one closes.
You notice that a lot of the regular patrons have begun, slowly but surely sort of filtering out. And those that are staying have sort of moved over to the bar. And Fiak, you can see many of them are kind of looking over at God, I'm gonna fucking write this down because I keep blanking.
Colin's
on
grandmother.
this. Yeah.
Amin?
Anine, thank you. God, what's my problem?
It's burned into my brain somehow. That replaces something super important like how to cook rice.
Oh, it's like character names are like, Pokemon moves. If you have like more than 4, you have to forget one.
I got a lot rattling around in the old brain box these days. Yes, you see them all kind of looking at Anine like, you need us to stay.
He wants to kill this guy for you.
Yeah, no, most of them look also scared, but can see that she looks more scared. But, it doesn't, especially I think to you, Fiak, because you're just standing closer to them, all of these people look scared and a little hopeless. Like, you watched as all these people just kind of sat there and watched that happen earlier with the Mabari. Like, they seem downtrodden, I think would be the word. They all look tired.
Seems to be the nature of lowlander existence. If you want to live free, you go to the mountains. In the meantime, this is a bad man. He's mean to we doggies, as far as I'm concerned. I think Fiok is staring down at the Mabari, trying to determine whether or not the Mabari is a messenger or has some wisdom from the gods.
You kind of lean down to the Mabari. Are you talking to it at all?
I think Fiok is whispering in like in Avar to the Mabari, just in a very friendly manner. Hello, little sister. Is there anything that you can tell me? What's the tone on that woof? Can I get a vibe check on that woof?
Yeah, roll for woof. Make me an empathy test. That's
It's like
perception.
when particularly tired Pipple just does a
That's perception.
Mhm.
Let's see, that is a flat 10. That's a 7, a 1, and a 2, a plus 2.
The Mabari seems happy to be with you and definitely doesn't like that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. So how many guards are there?
oh boy.
In terms
Oh,
of people
jeez.
that you and your friends noticed earlier speaking Orlesian, there is this Chevalier. There appear to be 2 guards, someone that Eva pegged as a Templar, and someone that Eva pegged as a mage.
But I haven't pegged that as I don't know about I know about the mage, but not the Templar.
Eva told you, I think, both of those.
I told
things,
you
yeah.
about both.
All right then. Well, I mean, she's not leaving this valley alive, but that's just fated. But that can wait.
I think the other thing that you notice is that there are kind of old, sort of beaten down sections of the Mabari's fur, like where the paint used to go long ago. Like they just never quite grew back exactly the same color. And the swirling sort of patterns do remind you of like Avar patterns for like wind. I think that would be maybe the thing that you notice with that roll. In the meantime, Aelana, both the Chevalier and the Sir Solen come over to your table, and you hear them sort of start whispering. The Chevalier, as he sits down, gives you a really long, appraising look.
It's uncomfortable. So Aelana is, as I am, quite uncomfortable with that because she isn't quite sure what's expected of her because she has not been told, correct, who she was meeting or why.
No
So
info.
She is looking between the Chevalier and Sir Solen quickly, but also trying to like kind of keep her eyes down demurely so she doesn't want to like cause insult. She's very clearly afraid of the people that she's with, but also used to being afraid, if that makes sense. She doesn't look like she has been, say, recently kidnapped and is trying to, desperately make, connect her gaze with Amines at the bar, but she's definitely becoming unsettled and is starting to have trouble hiding that.
The other thing that I think you would notice just being where you are that they couldn't notice from their angle is as he's sitting down, you can see the Chevalier is tucking something back inside of his tunic. Looks like maybe some papers.
Okay. This is not something I want to be involved in, and I don't have any choice in the matter.
And as he sits down and looks at you and goes, "So you are the mage then?"
Yes, my lord. Or what was it? Would it be Sir for Chevalier? I always forget.
My lord is appropriate for pretty much anybody. And as you address him that way, you see him sort of nod, almost approvingly, but more just like, good. Finally, the way that things should be. Goes, "Well, Rabbit, they tell me you are educated in certain historical matters."
Yes, my lord.
Then perhaps you can be some use to us after all.
She's getting very, very tense now. This is not a situation that she's familiar being in.
While you are at the Kinloch Circle, did you have any opportunity to peruse their libraries?
Of course.
Any interest in the local legends?
Yes, the books I couldn't get a hold of back in... Gosh, which circle did she come from? Did we decide that?
I don't know if we did. That's up to you.
I'll have to think about that later. I will look that up in a minute.
It's all good.
But yes, I've availed myself of the local resources.
Interesting. And, were there any local legends you found particularly interesting?
Many of them. Particularly the Avar ones that I was able to find scant pieces of, not much written down, but the fragments there were fascinating.
The barbarians. You see him kind of look over his shoulder towards Fiach and just spit.
Well, there's not going to be any restraining her now.
A bit about that casualness, that's all gone right the fuck up.
Yeah, you see Eva just go...
That was all in Orlesian, though, I would assume.
Oh, yeah.
Look at me, you spit, and your little trash
Yeah.
like that. Oh, you don't go pissing off bears in the mountains and expect good to come of it. Eva just basically is immediately going to flourish one-handed a great axe.
I assume you mean Fiach rather than Eva, unless she's surprisingly got much stronger.
I completely missed that one, didn't I? I'm assuming you just fastball specialed me into the arena.
Fiach would like to use her compatriots as weapons.
Toss your local rogue into battle.
It is historically proven to be an incredibly effective method. Proves me
How we
Someone
get
else up
that's
while they're holding
actually
the
how
axe.
backstab works. I don't know if you know that.
Use him as a can opener.
No, I think not.
A wise Avar always keeps a rogue on their belt.
So what is Fiach doing? You're grabbing your great axe. What else are you doing?
This is literally one-handed. This is a display of strength, and I'm about to murder you.
He's not looking at you. He's
Oh,
faced away
oh.
from
An
you.
Aelana see her.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
going to still flourish that.
Aelana goes very pale.
And then you just hear the surprisingly light footsteps as all 260 pounds of fucking muscle just steps forward and is going to settle one big fuck off hands the size of a fucking dinner plate right on this fine upstanding shitbird's shoulder.
Before we do that, I need two things to happen. I need you, Fiach, to roll me a, I believe it's going to be a dexterity stealth test.
Oh,
Just
I'm
to
not
see
trying
if
to
he
be
does
stealthy,
notice
it's
you.
just surprisingly light.
I'd like you to do it anyway, just to see if he who in. I'm just trying to get a sense of who notices this happening first.
Real fucking light. That's 14 on the dice plus 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Aelana facing towards you is the only person who sees you coming. And Aelana, you see the very tall Avar woman come striding over, a look of murder on her face, a great axe in one hand, as the Chevalier leans forward, steepling his fingers, and goes, "And what do you know about King Calenhad?" And he finishes saying this directly as Fiach's hand touches down on his shoulder.
Which is like...
And I think that is where we're going to do two things. First, we're going to take a break.
Oh man.
And right after we come back, we're going to roll initiative.
Ah, fuck. Eva just takes one long drink looking at Joy being like, well, forget what I said about having an inroad, I guess.
Is it still an inroad if it's splattered across the walls?
Technically.
There are many paths.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes. Hello and welcome back, everyone, to our Flights of Fandom Dragon Age Rebellion. Our hardy heroes are in Honleaf.
Oh boy.
On a stormy spring night during the Orlesian occupation of Ferelden, and they are dealing with a particularly nasty Orlesian. He's an asshole.
A nasty rowdy boy.
A nasty
execrable.
rowdy boy. After dislodging a Mabari from a comfortable seat by the fire, being rude to and somewhat intimidating to the bartender, and spitting at the concept of the Avar in general, Fiach, our Avar warrior, had a little bit too much of this guy, and went over to give him a piece of her mind as he was deep in conversation with Aelana, the elf mage. He had just been asking Aelana what she knew about King Calenhad when Fiach's large hand descended on his shoulder. Fiach, what are you doing?
In very heavily accented. I think she's a little bit hard to understand, and she's but the point gets across real fast. You don't know where you are, don't you, Orlesian? You're in the Frostbacks, and you come into my home, and you talk, and you spit. Spit in my general direction. You come here and you bully these people. Doesn't seem very safe, does it?
Make me an intimidation test. This is gonna be an opposed test, so I'm gonna make a morale test for him.
Oh, gonna do this. Holy shit! I did the worst I could possibly do. That is a triple 1.
Oh
It's still a 10 because I have +7, but
He just raises one eyebrow and he says, "What is it that your people say? It's like you were blown in by what was he called? A flacon winter's fart. I do what I like in the territory of Sovereign Orlais, barbarian." And he gets to his feet and draws his sword and says, "I am a chevalier of the Empire of Orlais, and if you insult me, I will have satisfaction. On guard!"
well,
And I need everyone to roll initiative.
Everyone?
Yeah, I mean, you're acting in initiative time.
wow,
So
I
if you
couldn't.
choose
I
to
couldn't
take-
get that. I went from triple 1s to triple 6s. On the worst in the opposite direction of what that things that mattered.
Everyone is rolling on initiative, Marcy, so that you have the opportunity to act in initiative time.
Got it. And what do we add to that? I always
It will
forget.
be your dexterity. You can
Gotcha.
choose to take a focus in initiative,
That's right.
but I don't know that any of you have done so.
Can you stunt on initiative?
No. Alas.
I wish.
I suppose it's possible for someone to get a higher than a 20, so I guess I'll ask.
Guess who
Ooh.
got a 20?
Very nice. Anybody higher than 15?
Actually, sorry,
18.
It's 21. My bad. It's a 21.
Sorry, I just rolled. I didn't actually add it. Hold on, I'm literally the worst at arithmetic.
No problem.
I also realized twice. It's 22.
16 for Joy.
Okay.
I looked at my cunning instead of.
And what did you get, Aelana?
8.
8.
Hey, Alana is going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
All right. Fiat, it is your go. The Orlesian Chevalier has stood up from the table. The chair skids back dramatically as he flourishes his longsword and picks up his shield, demanding satisfaction for the insult you have given him.
Don't see now. We've got satisfaction right here. Fiat's just gonna fuck this guy. Chop him. Chippity chop.
Okay, remember, just FYI, Hopper, that you have both a major and a minor action. You're standing right next to him, so you don't need to move. Yeah.
Commence the murder.
We brought props.
17.
Let me look. I'm pretty sure that that's going to hit, but... Yes, that hits.
All right, it's 3d6, no stunting. That is 14 points of damage.
Okay. 1 second. Very good. Yeah, it clangs heavily into his shield. He seems to absorb most of the damage. He's heavily armored under the sopping wet tunic. He clings into his shield, and as he kind of locks it into a position, despite his posturing and his age, his reaction tells you that he is an experienced chevalier. And you see the others around the table kind of reacting a little more slowly. That is your major action to make a melee attack. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I guess I don't know off the top of my head what my minor action options are there.
None of them particularly work for you in this particular moment. I will say that part of it was maybe your intimidation from earlier. So
I think,
we'll call that good.
Fiat just drops back, hefting his two-handed axe in both hands.
Absolutely. Eva, from across the room, you see shit start to hit the fan.
Well, best laid plans, I'd say. She wearily gets up from the table. I do think for this first round, though, she's not going to immediately attack. She's going to try to get. And now I've forgotten her name.
Here.
What?
I mean, yes.
That's what I thought. I just want to be sure. Sort of like back behind the counter, like duck down, like this is, you do not want to be involved in this. And then try to position herself behind Armand.
Okay, so you can move. Would you also like to pull out your weapon or not?
Not yet.
Okay. you can
I'm
just
positioning
move-
myself in such a way that if a backstab opportunity presents itself, because just now it looks like we're gonna get into this fight. I don't know if there's really a way to salvage that. Once Fiat gets it into her head that somebody's gonna die, there's no real pulling her back from it. I've seen it before.
You stand up, rush over to the bar, where you see most of the other the remaining patrons. There aren't very many. Kind of are looking on in a mixture of horror and kind of excitement. And Amin looks just terrified, and you kind of push her by the shoulders down behind the bar and gracefully vault over and start kind of subtly moving. As you do, you see the old Mabari kind of look back at Amin, see that she's behind the counter, and then just start sort of slowly stalking forward, up behind Fia. All right, that is Eva's turn. I believe that brings us to Lord Armand, who is going to take an aim and then try to hit Fia. No stunts yet, but that is an 18.
Hits.
All right, yeah, he sort of feints to the side a little bit, and then his longsword comes up, catching you. Well, we'll see how much damage it does. Oof, terrible. 7 damage.
Reduced by 4.
Yeah. So just kind of catching you a glancing blow across the bicep. Not dealing you a great deal of damage. Man, we gotta get some stunts. Stunts. I believe that will bring us to Joy, but let me double check. Yes.
Yeah, so Joy is like finishing the last sip of his drink, and as he's putting it down, he already had his spear like resting on top of his foot. And I forget what the minor action is called.
Ready.
Ready, yeah. So he'll take the minor action and like flick it up and ready it. And he's just gonna chuck it at Armand.
Okay, absolutely. Roll to hit. I am going to because he's facing away from you and he thinks this is a duel, you are going to get a +3 modifier on this attack because he is unaware of you.
Oh, okay. Let's see. You said +3.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 13 before any modifiers. 13 +3, 16 +5, whatever, a bunch. Yeah.
For sure gonna do it.
And I have 1 stun point because I rolled double 6s.
So, just for our audience who may be unfamiliar with this system, in Dragon Age you roll 3d6, and you generally have one of them that is a different color. Yes, thank you. And if you roll doubles on any of your dice, whatever the number is on the odd colored dice, like a 1 for Wesley, you get stunt points, and you can do extra stuff on your turn. There's a whole big table for it, and you can do different stuff in different contexts. But I think, yeah.
Let's see. You can move your support target. I can let's see. I guess how far away am I from him?
I
From
would
that.
say probably like 5 yards.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll just I don't really want to move, I guess, because I don't really have any of my gears like on the floor,
Mhm.
so I don't really want to just run over there. And I can't rapid reload a melee weapon. So I guess I'll just do nothing for this stunt.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say you could also push him just with the force of your
Oh,
blow. I think that the skirmish could apply in that way if you want to use it. You also don't have to.
sure. I usually like our enemies close to Fiak, I think, so I'll just keep him there.
Seems legit. All right. Okay. In that case, you can also just use that skirmish movement to stand up if you want.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Because
Sure.
like,
I'll
technically
yeah.
you were sitting.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We'll do that. Yeah. I'll do that. And with a dramatic, his stool goes flying back, screeching
Yeah.
across the floor.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh, what was the damage on that?
Oh, right. The damage.
Sorry, I was
Whoops.
like, wait, that seems like too much health.
4 plus 7.
You see that while it definitely kind of knocks the wind out of him, it does no damage.
Sure.
Also in Dragon Age, for our viewers who may care, you have an armor rating that is subtracted from damage that you take, in addition to your defense that you have to beat to hit them. Ba-ba-bum. All right, next in the order, the guards, I think, all kind of stand. They're going to move and ready, so they stand kind of unsheathing things and kind of forming almost, it looks like a protective barrier. They're both focused on you, Joy. And you kind of hear one of them say, "Hey, this is a duel. Keep your hands to yourself, Ferelden." And you can see Lord Armand just sort of like waved the spear away. Again, didn't do any damage to him. But the guards are definitely focused on you, Joy, the two guards. The Templar woman also stands, and you see her draw a sword, and she's kind of just standing there. She's gonna go ahead and prepare. But you see that she's not really paying. She's paying half attention to the duel that's going on. But Aelana, you can tell she's focused on you.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of watching you and making sure you're not gonna try and pull anything with this distraction. But yeah, she stands and draws her sword. I think, Eva, you're the only one who sees this as the Mabari is just kind of slinking low along the ground, moving sort of around the
I
outskirts.
understand that honor in this, that there's another duel that's being had here. I respect the Mabari's warrior spirit.
You can see that it's very old. Its teeth look a little like worn down. Doesn't necessarily look like it's going to be that helpful, but you can see it kind of watching the duel. And
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll have to wait for my turn on this one, but I'm almost like seeing that and like the respect. Can I lean down and whisper something that, like, I'm basically asking the Mabari if it wants a champion.
Yeah, I'll let you do that for free. You kind of lean down and you just see it, and it looks over at Fiak. And Fiak, right as you're about to take your next swing, it just barks really loudly, and it is using its special ability, which is the Battle Assist. So it is going to go ahead and give you an assistance on your next roll, so you get +2 to your next attack. Just as it is providing a distraction. It sort of leaps in. Its bite does pretty much nothing. It's very old. It's very unlikely to hit, so it's just kind of running interference, jumping around the two of you, trying to distract Armand.
Fucking heart.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys a fun story about me putting together this encounter later. Hey, Lana, it is your turn.
So Aelana is, of course, very aware that Cersalen is watching her, and she's a little bit torn on what her priorities are because one, she wants to hide very quickly. She wants to get out of the way. Two, she does not want to give Cersalen any reason to smack her down with a lovely mana drain, which of course would be a very good protective move for her to do right now. And three, she is honestly kind of on Fiac's side on this one. The Orlesian is really rubbing her the wrong way, and so she wishes she could help, but she doesn't see an easy way to do that. So what she does first is tries to figure out where she stands with Selene. She shoots Selene a look and like gestures to her staff of, do you want me armed or do you want me not armed? And she backs up against the wall and doesn't otherwise reach for her weapon.
Here's one opportunity that I want to revise slightly one thing, because I want to provide you an opportunity to react in whatever way is going to be most interesting. Technically, the Mabari's ability just helps anyone who goes after it, and just someone can use it, but it can only be used once. So you could use that distraction if you would prefer, because it's being distracting is the whole thing. So if you would prefer to use that moment of Cersalen being distracted to do something else, and that would be more interesting to you, I think, Hopper, with your permission, I would also allow that. But if you just want to kind of try and communicate with Cersalen this turn, that's also fine.
Yeah, I think at this point, Aelana doesn't see a way out of this. Like, if she misbehaves, she doesn't see a good outcome to that. So currently she's kind of holding back and watching, but she wants to get her hands on her staff, and she also does not want to help the Chevalier if she can get away with it.
Okay, in that case, what I would say is you could make me a communication test. This is going to be either deception or persuasion. Basically, you're just trying to communicate and get Cersalen to allow you to arm yourself.
It's a 12.
Okay, let me make a perception test. Don't think that's gonna do it. Cersalen has some... Yeah, you see her kind of look at Joy, and then at Fiach, and then at the Mabari, and then just kind of, and turn, like, you know, she takes your... She seems to take for granted that, like, with you looking to her for what to do, that you're going to be a good little mage.
So then, yeah, Aelana grabs her staff.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've readied, and I'll let you use your major action to make that communication. All right. Perfection. We are back at the top of the order with Fiach.
I think that this Stratton bark is gonna come in real handy right about now. Fiach's inner monologue is super pleased. She's like, hell yeah, you go, girl.
And remember, Hopper, that you can take the aim minor action if you want to. Like, if you're not moving to take a melee attack, you can do that and get an additional +1 on your roll.
I will do that. But I like that.
Assessing.
So +3.
Yeah.
Dope. So that's a total of +10 to whatever's on the dice. I like hitting things far enough. So that's 3 2s, so that's a 16.
Yeah, that'll do it. And that's some stunts, my friends.
Which is 2 points of stunts.
Correct.
Well, what's it say on your dragon die?
It
He
is
said it was
3
2s, so.
Yeah. I know what I want to do. Fuck this dude's weapon. Disarm.
Ooh,
Eat.
all right.
Nice.
Opposed attack roll. So roll again. I don't think you get the same bonuses, however.
All right. It just says you knock your enemy's weapon.
It says opposed attack roll. If
Oh,
you win,
I have a different version.
Yeah.
I'm still down. Oh, I'm very down for that. That is still a 21.
Oh, I got a 20. Very nice.
That +7, baby. Oh,
Very nice. Yeah.
there
So,
can be only one of us armed.
Yeah, I think he almost holds on to it, but the Mabari kind of like is in there heckling him and just just distracted enough for you to, with the haft of the axe, just knock the longsword away. Roll a d6.
Plus strength. All right, so that's a 2 on the d6. My strength is +5.
Yeah, his longsword goes clink, 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 clattering across the floor and under a table on the far side of the bar.
Sounds like a personal problem to me.
And go ahead and deal damage for your attack as well.
Whoops. Accidentally grabbed a d10 there. That's going to be 13 points of damage.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, math. Math,
Stop.
math, math.
God, the ability to disarm. Beautiful.
It's beautiful. Eva.
Oh, Boise. I'm trying to make some calculated choices here. That's what I was thinking of. There's the plausible deniability of I don't know this person. I've never been around this person if things should go wrong. I've been doing this for about 2 years now. I've had some people in my crew not make it. Unfortunate. But then I also get a look at Elana. And I think you can tell me if you need me to roll this for maybe a minor action, seeing the look pass between Templar and Mage.
Here's what I will say. Caitlin, I have a question for you. Were you going with persuasion or deception? Because, like,
It was a persuasion check.
Okay. Here's what I'll say is, I will let you use your minor action to make an empathy test, to see kind of what you glean about that situation. Sorry, you, Marcy.
Oh, thank you. I was confused.
Yeah, sorry. My bad.
Nine. Empathy is perception, so
Correct.
13.
Yeah, all right. And I think that is about, I believe Caitlin rolled a 12 earlier.
Something like
12
that.
or 13, yeah. So I think you can definitely see there are calculations running behind Aelana's eyes. A mix of, like, not wanting to get in trouble, but also being very afraid of the situation and looking for a way out.
It's
that
definitely
accurate?
very submissive, almost like a kicked dog coming to heel.
I recognize that. And if this goes wrong, Eva is thinking that you might be a good key to have, sort of gives a short whistle, just to kind of get your attention, and a look that's like, come over here instead.
It's a very dangerous look.
You did definitely just see me spend most of my evening chatting with this chevalier, and now I'm suddenly like, I've got a hand over a concealed dagger that you can probably see the hilt of, a la Assassin's Creed style hidden blade up my sleeve while I'm doing this. I don't know if you need me to roll for something for this.
I guess my question is, it would be pretty tough to get Aelana's attention without also getting the Templar's attention.
Yeah, that's a calculated risk that I'm willing to take.
Okay. If you're willing to take that risk, then I won't make you roll for it.
But if you're trying to see if I can do it without the Templar's notice, I'm willing to roll for that. I think that
Okay.
would be what Eva would prefer. Marcy's willing to take the risk that she does see, despite her best efforts.
I think, because really it sounds like more what Eva is focusing on is trying to persuade this mage. I'm not going to make you roll a persuasion test because it is against another player and it's really up to Caitlin.
Right.
What Aelana does. I will let you roll a check, but I'm gonna apply a penalty to it.
Towards the Templar, I'm assuming. Yeah, that's what I was,
yeah,
that's what
yeah,
I was
yeah.
talking about.
Okay, in that case, you can just make me I think it's going to be a communication test, just a straight up communication test.
Got it. Woo-hoo-hoo. 15.
Okay. With the penalty, I
Oh,
think
sorry.
no. I'm just applying it in my brain. It was just going to be a -2 penalty because the Templar is very much on the alert. It doesn't. I think the Templar doesn't necessarily know exactly what you're doing, but does notice you. Like I don't think that she gets like a good vibe for sort of why you're doing this. And
Plausible deniability.
yeah,
Love
exactly.
it.
But she definitely notices.
That's the name of the game. Plausible deniability across all boards. I love being a rogue. But there's this sudden offer on the table, Ilana, of like, hey, you wanna not you wanna not be a part of this whole scene and join this crazy group instead?
All right, it is Lord Armand's turn, and I think what he is going to do. He is going to He's going to yell at one of the guards to to go get his sword. And in the meantime is just with his armored gauntlet going to backhand Fiak across the face. It's in his stat block that he has an armored gauntlet, so.
Let's see how that works out for him.
That is a 15.
Well, shit.
And that's 4 stunt points.
Well, shit. Loads of fucking shit.
Oh, and he has some special stunt stuff now, don't he? Sure do.
I'm a fancy lowlander with my special stunt points. I'm so fucking pretty.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He is going to knock you prone and taunt you.
Much may they have to give.
I need you to make a willpower self-discipline test versus his communication deception.
That's actually fucking great, which is shocking. That's 654, which is 15. Holy shit, my brain. 17 total.
Yeah, that beats it. So you are not taunted, you are not taunted, so you don't suffer the penalty, but you are still knocked prone. And you do still take... Oop, probably no damage. That was a 3. I rolled very... Oh, no, sorry. He gets to add something else to it.
Look at
6.
me.
Reduced by 4
Okay.
to 2.
Just whack. Fiak, you just go flapping to the ground, and you just see him kind of sneering under the half mask, and a lesser fighter would be intimidated by such a mighty blow. Okay. Joy, you're up.
Sure. Just a housekeeping question. Do you add strength to damage?
It depends on the weapon and the specializations that you have. Generally, no.
Okay.
You add it to the attack, but not the damage.
Okay. That's what I thought. Just wanted to verify. So Joy is going to let's see. Joy's gonna ready his mace and shield. Could he do that with one ready? Actually, yeah.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, and then he's just gonna charge Armand and try to
Ooh,
get some
okay.
cover for Fiak.
Absolutely. He knows you're there now, especially because Fiak's on the ground, so he can see you coming.
Sure. Yeah.
So you don't get that bonus, but go ahead.
Yeah, I would say Joy's trying to be as loud as possible and maybe knock a chair or two over in the process.
Absolutely. Charge, my friend.
Not incredible, but we're fine. That's 10, 14.
14 does not do it.
All right. Well,
so
I'm there now.
sorry. Was that with the +1?
No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. That's
All right,
15
then that
with the
will
+1.
do it.
Hey, we take that. All right. No
Leaping
stunting.
over Fiak's
Yeah.
prone body. Yeah.
And that is going to be 8 damage.
Ooh, very nice. Okay. Yeah, you charge forward and just bash him with the mace. Again, not necessarily doing a ton of damage, but definitely getting his attention off of Fiak.
Okay, cool.
It is the guards' turn. The guards. One of them is going to go ahead and run across to grab Lord Armand's sword. That's his turn. The other one, who was paying attention to you, Joy, I think is going to go ahead and attack you with his maul.
Bring it.
So he's going to move up to you and smack you. Maybe 14?
That'll hit. Yep.
Okay. 10 points of damage. Whack. Big heavy hit as just as you kind of are charging past and whacks you in maybe the kidney.
You said, I'm sorry, you said 10?
I did.
Okay.
No stunts though. So Len the Templar, I'm going to have make a test to see what she's gonna do. And I think kind of looking between Aelana and Eva is just gonna kind of and seeing Lord Armand being overwhelmed. She seems kind of paralyzed about what to do. Look at her stat block real quick. I think she is going to move so that she is in a position sort of in the middle of things so she can kind of go any which way. She definitely still has her sword drawn, has picked up a shield. And Aolana, she's looking at you with this look like, don't do anything stupid. And looking over at Eva, like trying to decide if she can trust her and going towards, Lord Armand. I think, again, she's going to prepare, and if someone attacks Lord Armand, she's going to attack them. Or if Aolana escapes, she's going to try and stop her. One of those two things. She's not getting involved just yet. The Mabari is gonna go and is gonna continue being a distraction to all of the Orlesians, but particularly Lord Armand. So someone who attacks Lord Armand next round can take +2. You guys can decide that amongst yourselves. I think since Joy is up, the Mabari, rather than Fiat, I think the Mabari might like kind of jump on top of Fiat, like standing between Fiat. Yeah, actually that's I think what the Mabari is gonna do. They're gonna go ahead and defend you instead because you're prone on the ground. Just kind of jump on top of you, growling.
They now deserve this honor.
Aolana.
So, from where I am, is Armand in between me and Fiac?
Yes.
Okay.
But you could easily move to follow Selene and you'd be able to see Fiac.
Okay. So she's doing some very quick calculations in her head because she was absolutely not expecting to find any kind of sympathy from anybody outside of a circle or the chantry because mages aren't often, beckoned over of, come on, we'll take care of you. So she's stunned for a moment and has to make a very quick decision of what she's going to do in this situation. And Selene is looking towards her, but I'm assuming most of the time has her back to her at this point since she's protecting Armand.
Yeah, she's kind of like, she's definitely being pulled in a lot of directions.
Okay.
And you can see there's a lot of indecision on her face.
So Aelana has an idea of what she wants to do, but she needs to have a better sense of if Eva's going to have her back. So what test would I do in order to try and continue the I talk conversation?
I think you feel reasonably confident that given Solen's actions, you can also just move over to Ava and talk to her. Because Solen seems like okay, you were in Orlesian, you were talking to the guy earlier, maybe you're here to help us. She's not sure what's going on with Ava, but
Keep him guessing.
she seems willing to listen at the very least.
Okay. So I'm going to do that, not doing my best to do it all casual, given the circumstances, but isn't trying to hide from Solen seeing her do that. But she does come close enough to Eva to pitch her voice low and say, "Are you going to leave the Templar alone?"
Can I freely answer that without my check?
Yeah.
I think that all depends on how this current fight ends. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, that does make sense. That is going to, however, make her not take any actions yet,
Okay.
because she needs a little bit more information and to see how the tide is turning. She's definitely sort of angled towards Eva in a receptive manner, but she's not.
I
ready
think
to
while
throw her.
Eva has you, it's just like, you look a little trapped.
And she is not quite able to articulate or reply to that, but her eyes do lower as in a very subtle nod.
Would you like to prepare an action in the event that something happens between now and your next turn?
Yes. Do you need to know what the trigger is?
Yes.
Okay. The trigger is she's going to be watching Sir Solen very closely. The whole interaction between Solen and Armand. If Solen does not continue protecting Armand, she's not going to act. If Solen gets involved, especially if she takes damage, then she has a spell prepared.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Fiach, it's your turn.
Well, first I'll get this dog off my chest. And Fiat rolls, grabs the great axe, and takes a quick moment to reach out and give a quick little scratch to the scruff of the Mabari's neck. And then she's going to stand up and spit blood right in this Orlesian wanker's face. And then hit him with the great axe.
Okay. You swing back to hit with the great axe, and as you do that, with her prepared action, Sir Solen is going to sort of slide forward with a stop thrust as you're getting up. That was the prepared action. She had one of two triggers, and whichever one happened first. So she's going to attack you, which I think is probably also going to trigger Aolana's prepared action. But let's find out first what happens. Ooh, yeah, probably. That's a 16.
We smash cut to Fiak. Shame.
And decent 11 points of damage.
That hits me.
Oh yeah, sorry, it was a 16 to hit.
Oh yeah, 16 hits.
And, 11 points of damage.
Or I take 7
Just
points of damage.
Kind of, I think, going from looking back and forth, Fiak, as you stand up and begin to swing, all of a sudden she surges forward, just with this extended, the hand shakes a little bit as she thrusts her long sword forward, but the form is excellent, and the shield is angled just the slightest bit down, in proper Templar form, as she snaps into action. However, that means, Aolana, that she turns away from you. Was
Okay.
your trigger was someone else attacking her, right? Rather than her attacking someone?
Preferentially, but in this case, because she attacked Fiak, she's gonna wait in.
Hell yeah.
In this case, it's a little bit impulsive because again, she was waiting for another thing, but she just impulsively casts weakness.
Nice.
On Sir Selene.
So roll to cast the spell. What's the target number for it?
Target number for weakness is 11.
Okay.
There's no requirement. And okay. Oh, this is going to be close. 6, 11.
That'll do it.
So she takes a -1 to strength.
Does she roll to resist it?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
There's I have a little card here and I didn't write it in a way that was that smart. So it is magic spirit versus spell power. And I believe my spell power is static. Is that correct?
Yes, although it can be affected by stunts and also by your focuses. But
Oh, I actually have a stunt.
oh hey. Yeah,
I've
I
got
was gonna
4 and 2
say,
1s. So I've
you
got 1 stunt
can
point.
Increase the spell power by 1 per stunt point, if you like.
What would that do? Sorry.
It would just make the test that she has to make against it harder, which you would know as a Templar. She has a bonus to resist
Yes.
spells.
Okay, so I will do that.
All right. How many points do you want to put into it?
I can only put 1 in.
Okay. So it'll be up by 1. I will tell you what she gets. Oh, not good. That's an 11.
Spell power 16.
Oh yeah, she rolled terrible.
Yeah. So, let me actually, instead of my silly card, let me pull up the actual.
Yeah, I can look it up
Text.
in my handy tome as well.
So she becomes slower and more sluggish with a -1 penalty to strength and dexterity and a -5 penalty to speed
Oof.
for 1 round.
Nice. Awesome.
And Deolana immediately starts hyperventilating because what did she just do?
Excellent, excellent. Well, we'll get to that in a moment. All right, Fiak, it is still your turn to resolve your attack. However, I will allow you to choose which of these 2 targets you want to attack, the Templar or Lord Armand.
Well, my specific Armand's just a dick. Killing a Templar is a matter of principle.
All right, and her armor class has dropped by, or her defense rating, excuse me, has dropped by 1 because of your spell, Aelana.
All right. Well, how does a that is a 6, a 4, and a 4. 14 plus 7, 21.
Oh yeah, that sounds like some doubles.
That is some doubles. One, the 4 is on the dragon
All
dice.
right,
not the,
you got them stunts.
stunts.
You can dual strike Armand if you would like.
Oh, oh fuck, I really love that. Yeah, I might do that. I might just go for the cleave.
All right,
I think
and
this is
yeah, the original attack roll hits. So go ahead and roll damage.
Does the do I roll the same damage? Is it 1 damage for both? Or?
Yeah, let's just do that. It'll be.
That's fair enough. That's 12.
Okie dokie. Very nice. Hold on. Now I have to do math.
You can't stunt on damage, right?
No. Sadly not.
Exploding dice.
You said 12, so 5, so. Okay.
Math.
Math. All right. Eva. Oh, Hopper, sorry, just really quickly. Did you use that +2 from the Mubari on your attack?
No.
All right, so that's still available to anyone who attacks Lord Armand.
Yeah, speaking of that, I think that seeing all of this chaos just erupting around her, there's like a brief shake of like Eva's head, barely perceptible, just like it did not have to be this way. And knowing that now it's just really there's too many people attacking. In order to get out of here alive, something's got to give. So, and she already set herself up to be positioned a little bit behind Armand. She's going to try to go in for that backstab.
All right, roll it.
I believe first I have to do a contested check between stealth.
And I
Perception.
assume perception seeing, or is it just a normal perception
Yes,
check?
let me confirm because I pulled it up.
It's fine. He doesn't have anything, so.
Yes, it is.
No.
Oh, Boise. Okay. Ooh.
I rolled a 9.
Oh, definitely higher than that. Hang on, let me do math though. 10. So not that much of a difference. But just enough. It'll get there.
It'll get there.
So that is... I'm going to not take that bonus because I'm getting a bonus from this backstab, so I'm leaving the Mabari's bonus on the table.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. That is going to be... 18.
Ooh, very nice. 18 points of damage. He is looking quite hurt.
No, sorry, that was my attack roll.
Oh, sorry.
I still have to roll my attack.
That definitely hits.
Now here comes the damage.
All right. Did you stunt on that attack roll, by the way?
I did not.
Okay.
I would have said so. Unfortunately, I did not.
Just trying to check.
I know. I appreciate it. 9 points of damage.
Okay. Not quite as good.
No, not nearly. I would think. Yup. So there's just I feel like Eva's just going through the motions for this one. Just sheer chaos makes her very uncomfortable how this situation devolved so quickly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just I suppose we won't be having that conversation after all.
Yeah. You sort of say this under your breath as you stab him in the armpit.
Yeah.
All right, it is his turn. Oh boy, there's a lot going on here. I think the first thing he is going to do is he is going to go ahead and use an activation. He's going to activate his rally ability.
Oh no.
And you just see him sort of say, "For the Empire!" And the two guards and Sir Solem kind of, and you kind of see them all kind of bolster a little bit, and the guard is gonna throw him his long sword from across the room, and he's gonna grab it and try to make a big swinging cut. I think at you, Eva, because you pretended to be Orlesian and then you stabbed him, and he takes that to heart, I think, a little bit more than a barbarian just being, barbaric.
We all wear different masks.
Mm-hmm. That's probably gonna do it.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's 17 on the dice.
Yeah, that'll do it.
With 5 stunt points.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm gonna go ahead and dual strike, which he gets a discount on, to cut over to Fiach as well. And then I still have 2 more. I'm gonna go ahead and do a mighty blow, which I think just applies to Eva. So for Eva, the damage is 17.
Reduced by 3.
And for Fiach, it's 16. I only rolled a 1 on the extra d6. Hopper, you're muted.
Spell of silence has been cast upon me. The damage again? The damage or the
16 damage, yeah. From the dual strike. I rolled a real good.
All right, that's reduced by 4 to 12. I have now taken 24 points of damage.
Ouch. All right, that was his turn. Joy, you're up.
Sure. Joy is going to take the aim minor action, which is +1 to attack roll, and then take a swing with his mace at Armand.
Okay. At this point, you guys outnumber the defender 3-1. Since you're all up on him, the guards are still closing with you because of their earlier actions. I'm sorry, I should have noticed this earlier. But Joy, you get a +2 bonus from that.
Okay.
Also, nobody's used
Oh wait,
the
no,
Mabardi
sorry.
yet, right?
It's not because I forgot Sir Solena's there. Never
Okay.
mind. Ignore
But-
me.
But the Mabari bonus is still kicking around.
Correct. So you could take
We've
the
got-
+2 from that. Thanks, Hopper.
You should take the good girl bonus.
That good girl bonus.
Yeah. She's I think after me, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, yeah. So okay. Ooh, we like that. Let's see, 11, 14, 17 plus 4. A big number.
Oh yeah. Any stunts?
No, unfortunately not.
Alas.
Alas. All right, and then 2d6 damage. Okay, all right. 1 and a 6, 7.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of come in with your spear, and it just clangs off of his heavy armor, doing no damage. It is the guard's turn. I think the one that is was close in the fight. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll to see who he attacks. It's gonna be Eva, and then the one that is running up from having picked up the sword. That is going to be against Joy. So Eva, against you. Maybe not. 13?
Nope.
Okay, misses you.
Bye.
And Joy. Ooh, even worse. 12.
It's
Yeah. Rolled real bad both times. So Len, feeling the magic kind of course over her, is just going to turn slowly on her heel towards you, Aelana. And you see her sort of crack her neck, and she's just going to come charging towards you, and is going to try to stab you. Oh boy. Yeah, that's gonna do it. That's 15 on the dice.
Oh yeah. Wearing
Okay.
clothes. It's not great.
She did not stunt, which is good. However, her attack does deal 11 points of damage and drains you of 4 points of mana.
Okay.
You just see her sword arcing through, her eyes starting to glow a little bit lyrium blue as traitor. You can see the rage and the shaking start to overtake her a little bit harder. Yeah. But she's not looking great from that blow that she took earlier. The Mabari is going to jump to somebody's defense. Let's find out whose. Oh, it's going to jump to Aolana's defense. And it's going to kind of weave in between you and your opponents, giving you a +2 bonus to your armor rating. For the next round. And it is your turn.
Panicked Aelana is going to do something that is normally actually not come naturally to her. She's going to cast Arcane Lance.
Ooh, yeah. Do
She's
the
not
cool
normally a
Dragon
violent
Age
person.
2 staff swirls.
Yeah, I gotta do the slam thing. So, and because the Mabari's in between us, it's actually ranged instead of melee, isn't it?
Sure is.
Yes, cool. All right, so my side just says test of magic arcane lance. I'm assuming that's just against defense as
Yes,
usual because
correct.
it's not considered a spell, it's considered a ranged attack.
That's correct.
Okay. $18.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And that does 9 damage. Magic.
Ooh, very nice. And it's that's penetrating damage, I do believe.
Let me check and I can tell you.
I'm pretty sure most magic is penetrating damage.
The only thing is that Arcane Lance is not
Oh,
really a spell, so let me check real quickly.
yeah, that's important.
It just says
If it just says damage, then it's not.
damage, yeah,
Okay, so it's 9. All right,
but takes no MP to cast.
awesome. Fiach.
I
It's all you.
commence the murder. Or continue the murder. All right. So, who looks more damaged? The wee Templar lass.
The
Or-
Templar looks more hurt, but it looks like maybe she's less hearty.
And the wanker, noble wanker. How's he faring?
Not great. You're all ganging up on him.
Yeah, well, fuck that guy. And specifically, fuck that guy.
All right, roll to hit.
That's 336. So 12 plus 7 is 19.
Yep.
That's fun enough. That is, that's a 6 on the misbehaving maidens dice, which is my dragon dice.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to the misbehaving maidens.
Stunts.
They're dope. So stunt. My handy dandy stunt sheet that I printed out like a savage. All right. So he doesn't have his weapon back yet, right?
He does. One of the guards threw it to him.
let's fuck that right up. And then we're gonna do pierce armor
Okay.
on him, and then knock prone as well.
Ooh, all right. Excellent. So
All
go ahead and
offense all the time.
we're gonna do the opposed check for the disarm. Ooh.
Not great on my end. That's is that plus my weapon attack?
Yeah.
So that is 5 to 1. So 8 plus 15.
22.
All right, and so no disarm.
However, you do knock him prone. I think the idea is maybe holds onto that at the expense of sort of tumbling to the ground.
It's just like one hit, and then he holds on, and then 2 hits, and he goes to the ground.
Yeah.
His grip holds, his knees don't.
So go ahead and roll your damage, and I will have the armor rating.
Ooh, that sucks too. That's only 8.
That's good. A lot more of it gets through. Okay. Excellent. Eva, it is you. Oh yeah.
I would like to actually, because I hit him with a 2-handed weapon, and I have the 2-handed weapon fighting style. I would
Mhm.
like to force him back. I believe that is 2 yards in any direction.
Yeah, I think you just hit him trying to knock it, and then you hit him kind of in the midsection, and he goes flying backwards and hits the ground, kind of between Eva and Joy. Eva, you have a +1 bonus against him because he is prone.
Lovely. I'd love to take advantage of that.
I'll do what I can.
Oh, wow. 6s.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
I stunted on a 6 with a 6 on that dragon die.
Hell yeah.
So my cup runneth over. Let me see what I can do here.
I do want to let you all know that there is a stunt that was not in the initial stuff, which is for 5 stunt points, you can do a lethal blow, which is an additional 2d6 damage.
Indeed.
Yes.
I do see that here, actually.
Yeah. It just wasn't in the earlier version that I sent you.
Right. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Or I can do a dual strike against this and the Templar that's attacking Ilana.
Are they still close enough together?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I would say you could throw the dagger.
and
I
as a
don't allow
rogue,
it.
I have a lovely special ability that lets me pierce armor for an additional stun point. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Which gives me one more left over, actually.
I was gonna say you could do pierce armor and lethal blow instead if you wanted, or dual strike and something else.
Oh my goodness, how weak does he look?
He's still holding on, but
Okay, yeah,
he's
let's
getting-
okay. In that case, yes, I will
Okay.
do lethal strike with that
Okay.
pierce armor.
You got it.
All right. I'm gonna roll for the attack first, obviously.
Oh yeah, no, you already did.
No, I just did that.
Yeah,
What am I
'cause you
talking about?
stunted.
I stunted. By the way, that was 2 6s and a 2 plus 6. I'm gonna say yes. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Not bad. 9 points of damage.
That's with the additional 2d6.
I get another 2d6. I just rolled 2d6.
Yeah, but also for your weapon.
That was 20 points
oh.
of damage plus 9.
Sorry, no. I forgot to roll the regular d6
Yeah.
because I thought it was another d6. My brain. In fact, I lied. Let me just do this math again, shall I?
Sure.
That's gonna be 14 points of damage.
Okie dokie, that's much better. Yeah, he is looking not great at all. And is still prone on the ground, but it is his turn. He is going to stand up and I'm gonna roll to see whether he attacks Fiak or Eva, because it's you have both gravely insulted him at this point. That's Eva.
All right. I'm not your tank, but I'll just play the part right now.
Yeah, that's going to it. That's 21.
Yeah.
No stunts.
Yeah, that might
though.
hit.
No stunts though.
Thank God.
And only 8 points of damage.
Okay, that's gonna be reduced by 3.
Yes, he stumbles to his feet, lashes out with the long sword, and you, for someone educated in Valroyo, you are a disgrace to the Empire.
Who says I was really educated in Valrayo? I just say with like a completely deadpan
He
face.
spits up some blood. Joy.
Sure. Hi. How is there? So, Fiak, knocked him back. Could I is that enough to charge or no?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, might as well.
This guy.
Yeah. Fuck this guy. Could I aim charge? Is that allowed?
Yep, you absolutely can.
I will aim charge for
Yeah.
plus 2.
The legendary point and yeet.
Legendary. Let's see. That is let's see. 7, 9, 14, 18 to hit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Great. And no stunts. I bounce off his armor.
Oh
Ooh.
no. The
Snake eyes. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you clang. I think he turns just in time to raise his shield and catch your blade, kind of looking at you. The guards come forward. One of them, they both sort of look over at this sort of duel going on between Aelana and Sir Solen, and both kind of like, oh god, magic. Despite the fact that these are guards from the circle, and turn towards Fiach and Joy, for something they feel a little better prepared to handle. So Fiach, 14?
14 hits.
14 hits.
Or-
Okay.
That's my defense. Rather, 14 is my defense. I don't know if that.
I believe meets beats.
Meets beats.
11 points of damage.
Read. Reduced by 4. That
Yeah.
puts me at 31.
Joy.
I got 13 left. Come at me, brethren.
12, 17.
Yeah.
All right, and 12 points of damage. They both rolled real good on the damage.
We begin this flight by all dying and reroll and Lieutenant.
And it's Solen's turn. She's going to try and take another stab at you, Aelana. Oh. Well, I stunted, but it's because I rolled 3 1s. And that's a 8. So I don't think that's gonna do it.
No, it does not hit.
Yeah, she lunges forward, and you just sort of stumble backward. The Mabari, kind of growling at her. Yeah, oof. So then, actually, I think because of that, the Mabari is actually gonna jump at her. I think. That's 12, 13. Exactly her defense.
Nice.
And that is 2 6s and a 3. So that means our Mabari friend is gonna stunt.
MVP.
Most valuable puppy.
Knocking her prone and pushing her backward away from you, Ilana. And dealing no damage, but trying real good. That is your turn, Ilana.
Okay. So how separated am I from the rest of the fray?
By this point, with the Mabari knocking Sir Solen back, you have some clearance for sure.
Okay. And who's looking the worst off?
Of your allies or your enemies?
Allies.
Fiach, I would wager.
Okay. So I don't think I can get to Fiach's side without wading into quite a bit of danger.
Fiach's kind of on the outskirts. There's one guard next to her, but the guards seem pretty scared of you.
Okay. So I'm going to go to Fiach's side then and kind of gesture to make sure that she knows that I'm there. Very quickly ask for permission, unfortunately, in Orlesian, because that's kind of reflex. But puts a very gentle hand on whatever part is closest to her and channels some healing energy into her.
Nice.
So, or tries to anyway.
Yeah,
So the target is 10.
For the spell.
I think I can't actually miss this. Let me try. So 15 beats 10.
Oh yeah.
I also stunted.
Nice.
So let me check my magical stunts.
You can.
One day I will have these memorized.
Yeah. How many do you have?
4.
You
Ooh.
could cast another spell.
I think I will I think I will do that. Making sure. Yes, I'm going to do that. But so first I'll resolve the heal. I'm going to use 3 MP. So I'm going to roll 3d6 for restoring health.
Absolutely.
And that's... So you get 14 health back.
Fuck yeah.
And
I'm just
then...
picturing the Dragon Age 2 resource noise.
The stress just melts away.
And then I am, while my hand is still there, I'm also going to channel heroic offense.
Nice. You just
So,
give
because I
some
think our
magic steroids to Fia.
yes. So that is definitely beats that. Yep, without even any of the modifiers. So that worked. There's no opposing test, and so you get +1 strength until the end of the encounter.
Just
Yep.
what I needed. I hit
And-
6.
And it is your turn.
Oh, that's amazing. All right. Commence murder. Theo dashes forwards and at this right fucking dickhead and brings that axe up, going in for an attack. Holy shit, that's fucking not great, but wait, but there's more. So it's a 4, a 4, and a 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 10 plus 8.
Oh yeah. And that's some stunts, my dude.
The stunt is on the or the dragon dice is on the 4.
Okay.
So I'll do pierce armor, and I will do fuck this guy in particular, mighty blow.
All right. Roll it.
All right, so that's gonna be 46. That is 5, 3, 2, 10, 14 points of damage.
Describe your kill.
I think this is just real methodical. Fiok strides forward and just kind of flourishes the great axe in one hand, brings it sweeping down, and batters the shield out of the way before swinging again and cleaving his entire arm off as blood sprays everywhere, puts a boot on his chest, and smashes him into the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna roll morale tests for the guards to see if they run away. And for Selene.
For them.
Yeah. The guards both, like, Dragon Age 2 blood spatter all over them from the, like, artery cutting arm move that you just did, both. And definitely look like they're about to turn and run. Selene. Yeah, you see her just kind of go white. She looks like she's about to be sick.
It's part of being a lesion. It's a little bit stuffy and gross.
I feel like if we're coming out of initiative order, like Eva is gonna like raise her dagger up to Solène, and the others being like, "We've already had some bloodshed. There's no reason that more people need to die today."
The 2 guards definitely look like they're ready to surrender. You're less sure about Selene. It is your turn next. So you can say that. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Can I use my minor action to intimidate?
I would say you pretty significantly did that.
Can, like, specifically threaten?
That's technically a stunt.
Oh, fair. Then it's with no actual impact. Fiok raises the great axe, still dripping blood.
Yeah, the
Just nobleman.
here's what I'll say. The 2 guards are definitely intimidated.
She's not really worried about them. She's worried about the Templar scum.
Eva, are you just...
This is definitely persuasion, just like we all have different roads to walk here in this journey. Yours doesn't need to lead to a grave.
Can Aelana say something real quick?
Sure, and I will allow it to modify Eva's role. Like you can help her.
It may not be the direction you're expecting, or it may be. Aelana is, has been like looking between the carnage and Selene and everything, and she's like, she has to die. She has to die. Because Aelana knows that if Selene gets away, they know that she's escaped.
There's a look that crosses Eva's eyes that's if there was perhaps a bar, next to Eva's, like Avatar or something, you might see something like 15 rivalry points or something like that.
Well, honestly, counter to that, you see that bar raised significantly. Is like she smiles at Alana, and it is real ugly.
Yeah.
When she smiles, it twists that scar, which doesn't allow half her face to really fully move. And it's big gray eyes that are just boring right into you, beaming with approval, a big grin, but just a rictus of a smile.
Yeah, Eva greatly disapproves.
All right. Are you doing anything else on your turn, Eva?
I think she hears that, but she's gonna hold firm. She's pointing the dagger at them. She isn't going to kill them. She's going to let them decide how this ends. She was serious before. There are many paths that they could take here.
Joy. What are you doing in this moment? Eva seems to want to call for parley. Aolana is calling for the Templar to die.
Yeah, so once to rewind like 5 seconds, once Joy noticed Fiak was like walking over, like Joy already like turned around and started walking, like Joy knew where that was going. And then when he hears she needs to die about the Templar, he's already walking over there. He's like already into this. I don't want to say into, he's for this. And like, is the Templars back to him? Just narratively speaking.
Yes, why not?
Yeah, he's just gonna go for, I mean, it's with a mace technically, so I wouldn't call it a sucker punch, but the equivalent, and just Hail Mary, just swing at her.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Oh my gosh. If we're playing Yahtzee, I'd be killing it today.
I was gonna say, you do have an outnumber bonus of +2 at the moment.
I will retroactively aim if that's okay, because I don't have any
Yes.
other minor action I want to
that's-
take.
Technically, you would have to move, but you could have charged her.
Oh,
so
sure. Okay, sure.
It's
Okay.
all good.
Sure, that works. So that is 9 plus 4.
Yep, that'll do it.
Eight.
8 damage. Yeah.
8 damage, yes.
Knock into her, driving her sort of to her knees. The guards throw down their weapons and are just like shaking and quaking. And you hear Selene starting to murmur to herself under her breath, kind of falling to her knees. You see her kind of keep a grip on her sword as she starts murmuring. I was gonna say, I don't know how close any of you are to her. I mean, I guess you're right over her, Joy, so you hear her murmuring, you hear her murmuring, the one who has faith, who repents, unshaken by the darkness of the world.
He'll speak up and just say, shut up. And just not to do damage, but will like kick her like leg or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Aolana Are you doing anything? She's sort of on her knees. She's clearly hanging on by a thread. She has begun murmuring the chant of light to herself under her breath.
Aelana, despite her conviction that really that she needs to die, is also in the middle of a huge panic attack now that things are slowing down a bit. And she looks up to Fiak just reflexively because that's where all the damage has been coming from.
Fiak reaches with the one hand that's not holding the great axe and just kind of cups the back of Ilana's head and turns it away. It's just like look away.
And Aelana does.
May I?
You may.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I was gonna say with the position that Joy put her in, you can just cut off her head.
oh,
Much.
sorry, that's too good for Templars.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you understand exactly how much of a vendetta Fiak has against Templars, specifically Orlesian Templars. I mean, you do actually. You know.
I do know. So describe to me what you do.
Fiak strides forward, and currently, what is she on her knees?
Mm-hmm.
Friend, Fiak kicks her in the chest, and then kneels on top of her chest, and then presses both hands over her face, and drives her thumbs into her eyes.
Your Oberyn are telling her.
Yeah, you hear
There
her say,
is no light.
"The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next."
There is no light where you are going. You will never feel the embrace of the gods.
She shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction.
Only darkness for you, bastard.
Yeah, and with her chanting slowly trails off as just blood starts bubbling out of her throat, and all of you sort of look back, and you notice that one of the guards in this time has just bolted out into the night. The other is still sort of and Eva, in this moment, you notice something sticking out of the torn side of Lord Armand's tunic, quickly being soaked in blood to the point of being illegible. There is a sheaf of parchment.
Oh, I grab it.
You grab it. It's mostly soaked through, but there is one page that you see that you can still read, which I'm going to drop to you momentarily in the Discord, and I will put it up for our lovely viewers as well.
Ooh.
So it is in the Discord for you, my players, and it is on screen for you, my viewers. If one of the players would read it for me, or I can do it if you guys would prefer.
I would, but it's gonna take a while because my phone doesn't see it yet.
Oh,
I don't know why. It just doesn't see it at all.
Night had my many oracles consult the stars and drink the blood of unclean beasts, and something this prophecy, which is to something such answers always are, or so I am told. I hope that these ramblings would offer more clues to you than they did to me. Bring me the other mage, and perhaps we will get a more helpful second opinion. Seek you what is lost in the darkness, the flowing shield, the burning blade. Ferelden's heart fixed fast and faithful, which Colin had a conqueror made. If it lies in the grave of his true heart, and the memory of his greatest shame, under the gaze of the lady's dark eyes, it burns, the memory of flame. Once the sword is mine, we shall shew these mongrels a lion's strength, and Orlais will see what a true ruler is capable of. We are too close to fail now. VV.
indeed. This, Eva, you pull forth the crumbling remnants of the rest of the letter. The only thing you can make out is a seal in golden wax stamped with the face of a lion.
I think I love that you read that in character, even though I'm pretty sure that Eva didn't read it out loud yet.
Just hearing it in Fiak's voice for some weird reason.
I killed the narrator. I'm the narrator now.
Oh no! We're all from Starkhaven now.
I think for now, seeing what's going on, that Eva's gonna pocket it and wait for a more appropriate time to relay this to her associates. But there's this look of like deep disapproval, and this I don't think this would be obvious to people because she is a very well trained stoic face, but abject horror at what she's just seen take place tonight. Just this, you can hear her muttering a little bit under her breath, just like chaos, absolute chaos. And that's what she's saying as she's like folding the letter and pocketing it. If we're done shedding needless blood.
Oh, the lady demanded it. Did you not see the signs? Look at this one. A messenger from the gods themselves. And Fiak kneels and scratches the back of the Mabari's head.
Yeah, the Mabari is kind of all of the energy bouncing around in the battle. It's looking kind of worn out and honestly not great. Kind of, you see it. Oh. And just kind of like lay down a little unsteadily.
Like, bad or?
Clearly very tired.
Alright. Fiak will stay kneeled next to her.
It's at this moment that Amin kind of surfaces up from behind the bar. You look like you could use a place to stay. And if I'm being honest, I'd appreciate a little help cleaning up around here.
Joy will like nod and just start dragging bodies outside.
Ilana has put her staff on the floor and is sort of, she's not quite kneeling because that would get a lot of blood on her, but she is trying to make herself as non-threatening as possible and sort of looking between Eva and Fiak and Amin. Not quite sure what's going to happen to her now.
Yeah.
Not wanting to interrupt anything.
Eva takes a look at you, knowing what she's read in that missive, and is just, I hope you were worth it, mage. And turns to go help Amin clean up this mess that we've made.
Yeah, the one guard is kind of stopping, looking at you, Eva, kind of hopefully. I won't say anything. I didn't even want to be in Ferelden. Please, I will go back over the pass. You will never see me again.
She raises a hand. There are many paths that we take. They do not all need to lead to the same destination. Go with your life.
And you see in sort of under the armor a young man just sort of blanching, his freckles standing out white against the drained skin, and you just see him take off into the night. And the pouring rain. Joy, you start dragging bodies outside, knowing that it will be a day or two at least until there can be dry wood enough to burn them in the traditional fashion of Thetis.
Fiak specifically takes the Templar's body, strips it of anything useful, and then takes it out into the rain and finds a shovel and buries that. No embrace for this one.
The night is full of bloody business. The rain continues to pour down on the town of Hanleith as four people thrust together by fate and with a mysterious letter to guide them on their journey. Where that journey leads, you'll have to tune in next week to find out. Thank you, everyone, for coming along for this first episode. Please join us next week at the same time. Check out all our other great Matapot programming down below in the schedule. We've got a happy hour monster of the week tomorrow. We've got, I think we might have some vampire on Friday, if I'm not much mistaken. We got Starfinder on Saturday. We got Hearthward Bound on Sunday. We got all sorts of great stuff, so come check it out. And until next week, Dareth Shiral, everybody.